Good afternoon, YouTubers. Welcome back to the Angry Scotsman. Um, I'm Brian, and I'll take you on a tour of what I've been doing to Max in the last little while. I've been well, out of doing videos and stuff for quite some time. I've stopped doing my side gig of mechanics because of life, jobs, and just laziness. But I've been tinkering with Max in the last while. So I'll take you and tell you what's going on. So I have now completed the center console. I've got the main shifter, the four-wheel drive shifter, everything works. Took it for a maiden voyage, and my cheap Chinesium Amazon find broke off. So I tried to glue it back on and failed miserably. But it ran and drove no problem. The truck is extremely effing loud right now, so I'm not going to start it today. I've got taken the little, what is it, the cubby hole out of mine. This is for multiple things that Chef has. For mine, it was a cubby hole when I got it out of the junkyard. So I put two 110s and a two 12 volt and a voltmeter for anybody that's sitting back here. They can charge their shit. I still got the original cup holder and all that other jazz too. Everything from underneath this thing is completely gutted. There's no Bose system, there's no amplifier, there's nothing underneath this thing. I still got the cubby hole, still got the radio works right now. The gauges don't. I've got two more 12 volts here. I'm going to try to maybe add a 110 for the driver and passenger up here, right there. I got to 3D print something. And then try to figure out where to put all my extra stuff. So in this container, I'm going to have my Arduino relays. On top of that, I've got a, come on, get in there, get in there, come on, just stop being stubborn. So Arduino, the plate goes on here, the Arduino will sit on top of this, and all the wiring that I need will come in through the bottom, through these three holes. So all my relays and stuff like that. It has a base that it sits on. I have even tried to make my own fuse box, see how well that works. Distribution blocks. So I've got one for main power coming in. I think this one's for the accessory battery coming in. And then ignition. And then we've got, where's my grounds? My grounds. So all that. And then we've got my touchscreen for the Arduino here. I've got camera DVR there. And I'm not sure if anybody's seen it, but I used to have all that crap from that door to this door just littered all over the place. And that's why I have all these holes in the back, because I had battery cables and shit coming in and out all over the place. Now I have this bundle of wire that is already in the truck. It comes in from the high mount, comes in that way and then comes down this. So there's that. Over on the other side, I've got the case that I'm going to put on the floor. The other things that I've done to Max are I've redone the alternators. Yes, I know the belt is frayed. The belt was not all that great when I started this project again. So I am ordering a new belt for it. It's on the last pulley, the compressor was here. It walked and destroyed the belt. So I'm just using it as a temporary band-aid for now and to get everything done. I've got all my wiring coming up the back side of the transmission now, so all my battery cables and all that shit will come up here. It comes over, and then the first one goes into the main alternator, which is down there. I'll have 2 more coming in. I've also got the starter one over there. So the starter wire, the main power feed comes in from that, goes to that one, buggers off out of that one, goes back down the side of the transmission, around the frame, and into the back side of the starter. So getting to that is going to be easier than it was in the past. Over on the far side, I've now got the AC air compressor done up. So I'm using the original one, which is down there now, or was always originally down there on these particular engines. I took mine out because it was seized when I got the truck, and I never bothered thinking about putting it back in. So I took the bracketry, the wiring, the whole shebang out of this thing and just gutted it. So now I had to go back to the junkyard, pick up a decent compressor off of whatever. And I think this one came off of a, what the hell is it? An Avalanche. It was open, easy enough to get at. So let's grab the AC. I thought I had the bracket, but I didn't. I had to go back another day, get the bracket, get all the other shit, the bolts and whatnot, put it back in down there. So I've got the belt for that one. And then I have to replace this belt because that belt wasn't behind that one. But anyway, then it goes up the hydraulic hoses. Yes, you heard right. Hydraulic hoses. It's stronger than it needs to be, but it's great. So I got 2 hoses. The only length that I could get that was short enough. I think they're just under 3 feet or 3 feet. But I got those plus some new bits that goes from the hydraulic line down to NPT line. From there I go, that's the intake. Goes from that red thing, goes into an oiler, goes down that line, goes down, comes back up to the other line, de-oils it, goes out to a manifold. That manifold at this present time is holding just about 55 psi because I just had the truck running and just trying to find leaks. So I had 3 or 4 of them, and it was just stupid things that I didn't have lines tightened up. So the first one, you can see the old oil coming out of it. It's green. So the first leak was there. Second leak was this braided line down to the manifold. And then the other one was my horn, which comes out of this line, goes back this way. I've got, so it comes out of the compressor, goes down to a check valve, goes into the manifold. From the manifold, it goes to this gauge, to this output. And then I've also got a line, which you can't really see. Where is it? There it is, right there. So that line there goes to the tank in the back. It's another propane line. So this one's propane, that one's propane, and it has normal MPT threads. So this one goes to the tank, goes down onto the frame and buggers off. This one is going to be for an Arduino. They're for the Arduino display up on the dash. I still got to get some programming and wiring done for that. This one is an Amazon special for the clutch. It will turn on at 90 psi, turn off at 120. I ended up inadvertently ordering another one because I forgot that I had ordered this one. So this one's a 1/4 inch MPT. Chuck it in and away we go. I've got another one I accidentally got that was a 1/8 inch NPT, so I had to get an adapter for it, and then I found this one, so I put this one in. And then what we're working on today is the box for the guts. So this is all rigged up and ready to go. This is going to be a piece that goes across here, and then this will all fit underneath the seat. The holes that you see back here is all where those in and outs will come in. So I'm going to have like strobes and shit like that, extra crap. This is what I've been working on the last little while. Just here and there, every so often, working on it. I haven't had the ambition to do videos, let alone working on this. I've been out working on campers. I've been working on my brother's camper, getting him kind of situated a little bit better. So he's been using that and last a while. I still got to do some work to it. I went and tried out his truck after showing him what he's got now, and found out the transmission is semi garbage in it. It's then I find out from many forums that I'm not the only one that suffers from a deficiency in drive gears. So this one is one of those 4L slippy E's, as they're referred to, I guess. And I just got to get rid of it eventually. So next year I'll take it in for an inspection, see if it's worth even putting the drivetrain into it, and then fix it from there. 4-wheel drive doesn't work either, and I suspect the transfer case is completely garbage on it. Because it's got the automatic 4-wheel drive, not the manual. So I'm going to chuck that out, and I'm going to put the manual 4-wheel drive in. So that ought to be fun. I did it on the 99, but the 99 didn't care about much of the 4-wheel drive stuff. I don't know what the 06 will do. There's a different brain box in it. I don't know if it'll get pissed off when things disappear and manual stuff just shows up, like Max did. I take all the automatic stuff out and put in manual shit, except for the 4-wheel drive. It was already manual, and it got right pissed off that the automatic transmission disappeared. It pretty much went into limp mode. So I got to do that. I've got to put new headlights on this one. I'm waiting for a bracket for the passenger side because it's broken, and I'm waiting to get a grill for it this month. Then I'm going to redo the whole front end on this one. I may bring you along with that. I don't know. But this is more of an update video to show where Max is currently. It does run really, really well. I finally did the spark plugs in it. I don't know if I ever did them in this engine. I don't know when they are done. It's been sitting for so long. I just said to hell with it. I put new plugs into it. It seems to run better. It doesn't fall flat in its face when you start getting into it. I've also redone the stacks on this thing. So right now, it used to go up to that first bend there, and then it was cut off right there. When it was sitting on the floor and at the height of this bar, if you opened up those windows, all the exhaust fumes would waft back in there, and well, that's just no good for anybody. So you'd always have to keep those windows closed or waft back in, especially with the trailer on, because it would just go back in. So what I did is I took the stack out of the truck. I've run the exhaust tucked up underneath the rocker board, and then gone over and then up. So the top of this pipe is right about here inside, and held it in with a 90-degree bracket on the pipe, and then it sticks probably about 2 or 3 inches above. The stack actually sits on the bracket that the pipe is held in with, so it doesn't sit there and rattle back and forth. So the stack sits on that to a point, and then it's bolted to the aluminum boxes that I've got still here. And then I took a foot off the bottom. I took a foot off the bottom, stropped it down, took that foot and put it here, trimmed off the garbage that was all on it. So this is like 8 extra inches. And then I cut it to the same angle this was, and then kicked it out, and then welded it all back up. So yeah, it had a little bit of water in the pipe at one time, and it splattered my ceiling. So it does physically work, and it does sound really nice if you're not in a garage with it banging against the top of it. Driving down the highway at 130 5. The gauge is out on this one. Um, it's if you get the windows closed, your ears won't ring, but if you've got them, any one of them open, your ears will start to ring. I do have to put mufflers on it. I just took it for a maiden voyage to see how things were going to work. The shifter works actually phenomenally well. I've lost footage of me going through the gears and driving this thing. I went to do a dump run and lost the footage. So one of these days I'll do a second maiden voyage, because there's still quite a bit of shit that I'm doing to this, namely the box and electronics. Next long weekend, I'm going to plate this one again and take it out and go get my camper. So I've managed to also weld in my plate. It's not the greatest, I honestly admit. So I've put brackets that weld to the frame, and I've welded what I can to the frame at this point in time, and then welded 2 brackets to hold the box up, because like I said, I cut just a hair more than I should have. So that's just there to hold the box basically in place. Whether it needs it, I don't know. Whether I should have done it, I don't know. But later on I will take and I will weld, or try to weld, all this up. I was in a bit of a hurry, so I only did the ends and the 2 pieces. I may get another flat piece and go from here all the way over and weld it to that beam, and then weld it to the frame. That may be what I do, instead of trying to fill the gap, because that didn't work there and it didn't work very well there. And the other side, there's first start of that looks even worse. It's boogered over on the one end where I started. It got a little bit better, and this is the final result. I am not a good welder, but I weld. But yeah, that's basically where Max is sitting right now. I'm going to still tighten up the bolts. I've still got multiple other shit to do, and I've got to replace the sequential lights in the back. I've got modules for that, but I got to go print some boxes for it. So yeah, I don't know there's much more for update on Max, but I will still keep you informed when I can. I don't know when that's going to be. It's kind of sporadic right now. But for today, I bid you adieu. I hope this kind of helps you out, updates you on what this beast is doing. Have a good day.